तस्मादोषाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। नामचिन्तामणि कृष्णश्चैतन्य रसविग्रह पूर्णशुद्धो नित्यमुक्तो अभिन्नत्वं नाम नामिनो। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवात्सादिकार भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। निगमकल्पतरुर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मतः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमापोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविद् एव चाहम्। सर्वशास्त्राभिपीयूष सर्ववेदैकसत्फला सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाद्य सर्वलोकैकदिक्प्रदा सर्वभागवता प्राणा श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिद्वन्द्वोदितादित्या श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तिता परमानन्दपाठाय प्रेमवर्षि अक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तु मे। मदेकबन्धु मत्सङ्गिन् मद्गुरु मन्महादन मन्निष्ठारक मद्भाग्या मदानन्दा नमोऽस्तु ते। असाधु साधु तादायिन् अतिनीचोचताकर हानमुञ्चा कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्नरित्कण्ठयो स्फुरा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Hare Krishna. Welcome you all to this morning session of Srimad Bhagavatam.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। दंडवत
Hare
प्रणाम।
Krishna. Pranam. Please accept my Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Taken this as a seva for my own purification and for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So, if any mistakes, please do correct me. Today, we are now doing the fifth canto, the creative impetus. I'll share. Okay. Yeah. So we are in the Canto 5th, The Creative Impetus, Chapter 1, Activities of Maharaja Priyavrata. Right? So who is Maharaja Priyavrata?
Swayambhu was Manu Mataji.
Yeah.
Son
So,
Mataji.
yeah, he is son of Swayambhuva Manu. So Swayambhuva Manu had 5 children, 2 sons and 3 daughters. Who were they?
Uttanapada, Swayambhuva Manu, and Devahuti, Prasuti, and the other name.
Akuti, right? Yeah. So there were 3 daughters and 2 sons. So first it was Uttanapada, who was the king. After the father, after Swayambhuva Manu, Uttanapad, he took over the kingdom. Right? After Uttanapad came his son Dhruva. Right? Dhruva, then his sons Utkala. Then we went through all the what you call the lineage of Dhruva, Anga, Bena, Prithu. After Prithu came Vijitaswa, then Haridvana, then Prachina Bari. After Prachina Bari, the Prachetas. After the Prachetas came the after the Prachetas who ruled? Daksha. And when Daksha retired, Daksha had how many children? He had the 10, he had 10,000 sons. Harishavas, right? Who were by under the guidance of Narad Muni, they went into penance and self-realized. Then again, he got 100 sons, 10,000 sons, Shavalashvas. They were also not ready to procreate. Then he got 60 daughters who were all married to great sages. Then when Daksha retired, there was no one to take over the kingdom, right? Then Swayambhuva Manu, he approached Priyavarta. So Sukadev Goswami was asked by Parikshit Maharaj that how come Maharaj Priyavarta, he was actually, who was his spiritual master, Maharaj Priyavrata's?
Narada Muni.
Yeah, Narad Muni was his spiritual master. So he was under the guidance of his spiritual master. He was a renunciant. So he was asking, how did this renunciant, how did he came into this household ashrama, and then how he did not get entangled, and he ruled. Not only he ruled, he got married also, and he had sons a few sons and daughter. So that is what we are going to cover up in this chapter. So he said that in the earlier chapters, you all must have gone through that. What was it? How was the explanation given that why Maharaja Priyavarta, though he was a renunciant, why did he accept the request by his father Swayambhuva Manu? Why did he accept?
As a service to the Lord, Mataji.
It was the order of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, as per the order of the Supreme Lord. So what guidance, how could he manage without getting entangled into the household life? What was told?
It was
How could
the plan of the Lord only, Mataji. Because
he plan of, yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, he wanted to please the Lord, Mataji. So Brahma instructs him to rule the world. So and Brahma says that it is the will of the Lord. So he takes up that service as a service to the Lord, Mataji.
Yeah. So what was the process? Yes, he accepted it. He was told that you have to, it is the will of the Lord. There are great people like Brahma, Shiva, Narad. They all accept the desires of the Lord. So then what was the process told to him? Like how did he, and what was the takeaway point for us, that how can we as a Grahastha, right? These are all lessons for us also, who are we in a Grahastha life. How can we take up, run parallel, take the material and the spiritual parallelly.
Mataji, being wherever we are situated, there itself we can serve the Lord, Mataji. So this is what I have understood. I have taken
How?
in this.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Mataji, although he was a grahastha, he was already liberated. And that's why he
Yeah.
took and that's why he listened to he listened to Lord Brahma, because there was nobody else to rule the
Yeah, true, Mataji. That all I accepted. But what was the takeaway point that which will help us also, as a grahastha? How should we?
Mataji, there was no need to take up sannyasa also to be a renunciant. Actually, he being the king, he has to rule the world. And upon, I mean, just like how Arjuna fought in the war, Kurukshetra war, for the satisfaction of the Lord. So Brahma says that it is the will of the Lord. Eventually, so just to satisfy the Lord, being in one's own varnashrama, so one can satisfy the Lord. So this is what I
Ah,
have understood.
yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. That what you said is everything correct. But what
Keeping
is the
Krishna as the
process?
center, Mataji. Keeping Krishna as the center for us, all the activities.
It is how to by controlling our mind and senses, isn't it? How do we control our mind and senses? Is it easy to control our mind and senses?
No, Mataji. Yukta
not
Vairagya.
Yeah,
easy.
yeah. So how can we do? Even Arjuna told Krishna, right? Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. So Krishna also says, yes, yes, it is very difficult to control. So what did Krishna say then? When the
Abhyas
That's
mind,
why
Abhyas and
with
Vairagya.
practice.
Abhyasena and Vairagena, right? Abhyasena by practice and by Vairagya. So how can we do that Vairagya?
Hare
By
Krishna.
doing devotional service, Mataji.
Mataji, Vairagya is about following the four regulative principles. Because
Okay.
Vairagya is don'ts and practice of the
Four
Abhyas is
regulative
do's.
principle is that it brings us to the human platform, right? So that is okay. That is control. That we come to
Mataji,
human
just by
platform.
doing bhakti, one can come to that stage, Mataji, because bhakti's byproducts are jnana and vairagya. So one automatically attains, Mataji, by
Yeah,
doing
that
pure
means we
devotional
should
service.
have Krishna as the center, and whatever activities we do, it should be done as an offering to Krishna. So the location doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter whether you are a king or whether you are in whatever position you are. It is just controlling your mind and your senses, but it is very difficult to control the mind. So what we do is param drishtva nivartante. We have to engage the mind into something that is even superior to whatever pleasure we are getting from material activities. So that is offering everything. That we should not be attached to the result of whatever activities we do, and we have to offer it to Krishna. Thus, we can control our mind and our senses. We can engage. We cannot restrain our mind, senses. Right? Then it will be Falgo Vairagya. So it should be, everything should be done as Yukta Vairagya, offering it to the Lord. It should be done as a Yagya. So now we will understand in these few verses how we will cover 24, 25, 26, and 27. So it is only about, not much, only about Priyavrta, his sons, and how out of the sons who took up sannyasa, and further how we should do. Hare Krishna. The verses here are very big, so I will just recite. अथा च दुह्यतरं प्रजापतेर्विश्वकर्मणा उपयेमे बरिष्मतीं नाम तस्यामहवाव आत्मजाम् आत्मसम्मानशीलगुणकर्मा रूपवीर्योदरान्दशा भवाययान् बहुवा कन्यां यवि यस्मिन् ऊर्ध्वस्वतिं नाम. Can someone recite? I think Anita Mataji had raised, yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanyaprams. अथ च दुहितरं प्रजापतेर्विश्वकर्मणा उपये मे भरिष्मतिं नाम तस्यां युहावात्मजान् आत्मसमानशीलगुण कर्मरूपवीरो वीर्योधारान् दशभावयां बभूवा कन्यां च यवीयसीम् ऊर्जस्वतीं नाम. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The translation.
Hare Krishna. Sumangala Mataji, you can. Rohini Mataji, carry on.
Mataji, continue, please.
Hare
Sumangala
Krishna.
Mataji,
Thank you,
the
Mataji.
translation.
Pranam,
Mataji, you
Pranam.
want us to read the purport as well?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah,
Quick
Sudha
reading
Mataji,
will-
the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, Maharaja Priyavrata married Barhishmati, the daughter of the Prajapati named Vishwakarma. In her, he begot 10 sons equal to him in beauty, character, magnanimity, and other qualities. He also begot a daughter, the youngest of all, named Urjaswati. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandat Pranam. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaja Priyavrata not only carried out the order of Lord Brahma by accepting the duties of government, but also married Barishmati, the daughter of Vishwakarma, one of the Prajapatis. Since Maharaja Priyavrata was fully trained in transcendental knowledge, he could have returned home and conducted the business of government as a brahmachari. Instead, however, when he returned to household life, he accepted a wife also. The principle is that when one becomes a grahastha, he must live perfectly in that order, which means he must live peacefully with a wife and children. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first wife died, his mother requested him to marry for a second time. He was 20 years old and was going to take sannyasa at the age of 24. Yet, by the request of his mother, he married. As long as I am in household life, he told his mother, I must have a wife. For household life does not mean staying in a house. Real household life means living in a house with a wife. Three words in this verse are very significant: who, her, vava. These words are used to express wonder. Priyavrata Maharaj had taken a vow of renunciation, but accepting a wife and begetting children have nothing to do with the path of renunciation. These are activities on the path of enjoyment. It was a source of great wonder, therefore, that Priyavrata Maharaj, who had followed the path of renunciation, had now accepted the path of enjoyment. Sometimes we are criticized because although I am a sannyasi, I have taken part in the marriage ceremonies of my disciples. It must be explained, however, that since we have started a Krishna conscious society, and since a human society must also have ideal marriages to correctly establish an ideal society, we must take part in marrying some of its members, although we have taken to the path of renunciation. This may be astonishing to persons who are not very interested in establishing Daiva Varnashrama, the transcendental system of four social orders and four spiritual orders. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, however, wanted to re-establish Daiva Varnashrama. In Daiva Varnashrama, there cannot be acknowledgement of social status according to birthright because in Bhagavad Gita it is said that the determining considerations are guna and karma, one's qualities of and work. It is this Daiva Varnashrama that should be established all over the world to continue a perfect society for Krishna consciousness. This may be astonishing to foolish critics, but it is one of the functions of a Krishna conscious society. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Pranams Mataji. Thank you. So here we see that in this verse it is talking about his 10 sons, right? The names of the 10 sons is given in the next verse. Okay, so they were given the names of and their names were similar to that of the names of the Agni god. And Srila Prabhupada is showing that the saintly kings, they produce very spiritually powerful progeny who continue Vedic culture. And the connection to Agni may suggest that the purity and sacrifice and spiritual balance. Okay, so here family life, when created on dharma, produces spiritually qualified children. Right, so that is why Prabhupada is here, he is stressing about varnashrama dharma. He always wanted to establish varnashrama. So whatever it is not by birth that you are a Brahmin and then your son also becomes a Brahmin. It is based on your guna and karma, whatever activities, and based on the influence of whatever gunas you are in, you take up a occupation and you be in that order, right? So if everybody follows their prescribed duty, then it becomes the society be peaceful, and then they can progress yourself spiritually. This is the main intention in whatever ashrama or in whatever order, social order you are in. The goal is to go back to Godhead rather than interfering into others' occupation and then falling down. This is the main intention. That is why Prabhupada is telling that though he was a sannyasi, he would be criticized because they are said to be renunciant. But that doesn't mean that renunciant cannot take part in other activities. Yes, they are renunciant. They have controlled their mind and senses, but at the same time, they can do their occupational duty as well. Similarly, Priyavrata also, though he was a renunciant, he was under the guidance of Narad Muni. He was leading a renunciant life, trying to be self-realized and a self-realized person. But even then, at the request of his grandfather, he accepted it as the will of the Lord. And then, so it is said that Grahastha life, it is considered to be the most entangling, where people get entangled into the material activities, right? They get attachment to their children. They get attachment. They feel that without them, what will happen to the children? And then they spend most of their time in activities for or in accumulating wealth for the children, for their welfare, their relatives, like that. So here the takeaway point we should that though we are in whatever social order we are in, we should fulfill our responsibilities, but at the same time, we should all our activities should be akarma. Should not be it should not create any bondage. That is why it said that we should be Krishna consciousness, do all the activities as an offering to Krishna. So family life should be centered on righteousness, on dharma, and produce spiritually qualified. We should engage. Grihastha life means we should take up the responsibility of engaging our children also into Krishna consciousness. Later on, we can see how through his children, what is the message that has been given to us. The name he named his children as that of the names of the demigod Agni Dev, thus carrying the Vedic culture, spiritual meaning. So Grihastha life is not material. So this was the he was surprised. So Parikshit Maharaj, and he has asked question to Sukadev Goswami, like how come, he was wondering how come he, being a renunciant, how come he took up grahastha life, and not only he could have married without marrying also, he could have run the administration. But it is said no, when you are taking up a grahastha life, when you are taking up coming into a householder life as a kshatriya, you should marry, you should have children, then only further how will the administration take place. Like when Daksha gave up, retired, there was no one. So he was asked. So after Priyavrata, who will take up, right? So that hierarchy should go on, right? So that is why he married. But he is showing us that it is not that to go into spiritual, to advance in spiritual life, one has to be a sannyasi or remain as a brahmachari. No, we can take up grahastha life, we can marry, have children, and follow brahmachari even in the grahastha life by controlling our material desire. This is what it is said. So, children, practically, how can we take others as parenthood is a sacred responsibility, not just being getting attached. Children should be raised with spiritual culture. Grihastha life should supported with yagya. Everything should be a yagya, right? So now understanding this verse, How can we make our house a grahasthashram rather than a residence? How do you feel? Hare Krishna.
Keeping
Hari
Krishna
bol.
as a center, Mataji.
Yes, we should keep Krishna as the center. Otherwise, Bhagavad Gita, what does it say? Yagnartat karo
Yajna-
कर्मणोऽन्यत्र योगोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः
anyatra karma bandhana, right? Yeah, everything will become as a bondage. We will have reaction to whatever activities we do. So everything should be done as a offering. So as a modern parent, how can we create that environment in our house?
First with Prasadam, Mataji.
Offer our prasadam for celebrate various festivals, Ekadashi.
Mangala
Yeah, whatever. Yes, Mataji. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you say, everything should be Krishna centered. Very good. Now we do sacrifice. What is a yajna? How does this sacrifice apply in our daily life?
Chanting.
Chanting, Mataji.
Sankirtan yajna. Okay, that is one. Then
By offering first everything to Krishna and then using it for
whether it is
ourselves.
food, whether it is your income, your personal comfort, everything should be as an offering to. Don't do things which pleases you. Do things which pleases Krishna. So for that we have to do austerity. That is the sacrifice. Sacrificing our time, sacrificing our ability, sacrificing our everything in the service of Krishna. Okay. So we go on to the second verse is nothing but the names of the children of Priyavrata. It is Agnidhara, Maji, wait, we can, yeah. Agnidhara, then is Idama Jivha, Yagnabahu, then after Yagnama Mahavira, Hiranya Reto, Grita Prishta, Savana, Medaditi, Vitihotra, Kavaya, Iti Sarva Evagni Nama, Namanaha. These are the names of his sons, and their names were similar to that of Deva, not like modern world. Always they say, keep names of your children which signifies something rather than, some names which does not have any meaning. Yeah, the 26th verse.
Hare Krishna. Vasudha Mataji,
Hare-
you can read the verse, and Shobha Mataji, the Mataji, want us word meanings? We've already done, no? Those are names only.
26 not required, Mataji.
So Vasudha Mataji, the
25
verse.
not required, 26 we can recite the verse.
Oh, okay. Vasudha Mataji, the verse. Rohini Mataji, the word meaning and translation. And Shobha Mataji, the purport.
No
Hare
need
Krishna.
a word meaning, Mataji, translation and purport.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Etesham Kavir Mahavira Savana. Mataji, is there any tune for this, Mataji? Can you
These
help me
are
out?
long. These are long verses.
Or words
Okay,
wise
Mataji.
we can use, Mataji. You can help me out, Mataji.
Okay. एतेषां कविर्महावीर सवन इति त्रया आसन्न रेतसस्त आत्मविद्यायाम् अर्बभावत् आराभ्यकृत परिचाय परमहंस्यम् एवाश्रम abhajam. It's okay, Mataji. I will just explain to it because these are longer words. Maybe you can read the translation.
Thank you, Mataji. Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. 3 among these 10, namely Kavi, Mahavira and Savana, lived in complete celibacy. Thus trained in brahmachari life from the beginning of childhood, They were very conversant with the highest perfection known as the Paramahamsa Ashrama. Hare Krishna. Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna. That is what Etasam Kavir Mahavir Savana. Iti Traya Asana Urvarede. Reta means out of the 10 sons, these were the three, Kavi, Mahavir and Savana. They were, these three, they took Urdhva they maintained a celibate life. Okay. Sa Atma Vidyayam Arba Bhavat Arabhya Krita Parichaya. They took up this from a very early age. That is what? Arba Arabhya. And thus they become Paramahamsa. This is what it is given in this Paramahamsa Ashrama Bhajam. This is the meaning of that verse. Purport. Yeah, somebody can read.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word Urdhva Retasa in this verse is very significant. Urdhva Reta refers to one who can control sex life and who, instead of wasting semen by discharging it, can use this most important substance accumulated in the body to enrich the brain. One who cannot completely control sex life is able to work wonderfully with his brain, especially in remembering. Thus, students who simply hear Vedic instructions once from their teacher could remember them verbatim without needing to read books, which therefore did not exist in former times. Another significant word is Arbha Bhavat, which means from very childhood. Another meaning is from being very affectionate to children. In other words, Paramahamsa life is dedicated for the benefit of others. Just as a father sacrifices many things out of affection for his son, great saintly persons sacrifice all kinds of bodily comforts for the benefit of human society. In this connection, there is a verse concerning to the six Goswamis. त्यक्त्वा तूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रीनिं सदा तुच्छवात् भूत्वा दीनगणेशकरुणया कौपीनकण्ठाश्रितौ. Because of their compassion for the poor fallen souls, the six Goswamis gave up their exalted positions as ministers and took vows as mendicants, thus minimizing their bodily wants as far as possible. They each accepted only a loin cloth and a begging bowl. Thus, they remained in Vrindavana to execute the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by compiling and publishing various Vaishnava literatures. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here in this verse, it is said that among the 10 sons, Kavi, Mahavir and Savana, they accepted a celibate life, Urdhva Retasa. Then they were trained from the childhood, Brahmachari, and attained Paramahamsa stage. So Prabhupada is emphasizing the power of celibacy. Right? It is said that the more you control it helps in the development of the very minute cells in your brain. That is why in olden days, they did not have these books wherein we hear and we write immediately, right? They would hear, and after hearing, they could recite it, whatever they could hear. That much power, memory they had. So he said that we should start the spirituality, whatever it is, we should start at a very early age. The more the early it starts, the more the absorption. So among the 10 sons, these were the three who took up the brahmachari at a very early age, and they could achieve Paramahamsa ashrama. So as it is said, Urdhva Retasha, we understood the meaning of it, that they could control the they could control the secretion of the semen. That is, they accepted a celibate life, right? And when did they start? They started it at a very young age, at a very early age. So brahmacharya preserves physical and mental strength for spiritual realization, and early spiritual training, Arba Bhavat, is very essential. And then Paramahamsa life is a life of not being compassionate, wherein they use their life for the welfare of others. So practically, how does it applies to us? Sense control, right? Even when we come into a grahastha life, we have to control memory. It enhances our memory, our clarity, and our absorption of spirituality. Parents should train the children about discipline and devotion at a very early age. Renunciation is not escapism. It is being compassionate. Thus, giving the examples of the 6 Goswamis, how they renunciated not for their own benefit. They were in a very high post, let's say Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, but they gave up all their riches, their wealth, and they used their education and talent for establishing temples, excavating all the temples, and giving us various books and literatures. So Sukadev Goswami also was a lifelong a brahmachari, absorbed in the realization of the Lord. So even in Bhagavad Gita, it is said that being a brahmachari means you have to control your sex desire. That is the power of brahmacharya. So here in this verse, it gives that training should be done at a very early age, right? Why it is said it is early? Because when we develop a habit in a child at a very early age, that will continue. They will follow that, right? Even when because it became a habit for them, that helps them to develop a lifelong character. So a early brahmacharya builds discipline and clarity, right? It becomes that is why Krishna say abhyasena. We should practice it at a very early age. So being now we are in a grahastha life and married, right? So how can we practice this brahmacharya in whatever it is said? How can we practice this in our life? In grahastha life. How can we practice the brahmacharya in grahastha life? Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Detaching
Hare Krishna.
ourselves, Mataji, by detaching
Refraining
ourselves from the
from
family.
Mataji, refraining from
without
can we
deviating
detach
or
in
attracting to material things, Mataji. Without deviating from our spiritual sadhanas, and even though if you are getting attracted to material things, again we should get back, Mataji. We should try to get back and keep doing our sadhanas.
Yeah. See, that is why, after brahmachari, children should be always, first is the brahmachari ashrama, right? In that, all they are taught everything should be done in regulation, how to control, how to move forward and to balance, isn't it? After that, they can take up grihastha. Those who do not wish to take up the grihastha life, they become nashtik brahmachari, isn't it? Those who take up the grahastha life, they know that everything, even their desire, it should be for procreating children in Krishna consciousness. It is said that the more you use it for sense enjoyment, you do not follow a celebrate life, it reduces your lifespan. It is also said in one of the chapters, I do not recollect. That is also it is said. So regulation should be there, not indulgence, not fulfillment of your pleasure. That is what we should. So that is why first you should undergo the brahmachari life. So we continue even in grahastha life. We can continue by regulating our desires, viewing intimacy as a sacred duty and not as a pleasure, avoiding all lustful things that come. So once we know the regulation, we will not indulge. That is very important. So self-control, when we control, that will preserve, that will help us to control our mind and help us to focus spiritually. So renunciation is not means compassion. So how can we understand this? We should also whatever we learned, whatever we understood, we should use instead of wasting our time in gossip and all. We should use that time to help others. Whatever in a way, it will be a revision for us also, and it may help others as well, right? So we should also utilize our time in preaching, teaching others, and doing our service. So reducing our personal demands and increasing seva. Do seva whenever festival comes, right? Not only preaching, we can indulge in various activities now. Gaur Purnima, right? We can indulge in cooking seva. We can indulge in doing some programs for the skit, kirtan, right? Many sevas, winding up sevas, so many sevas we can use our time. So that is what it is said, that whatever we do, it should start from a very early age, and that will become a habit and lifelong and help us to manage the grahastha and the spiritual life parallelly. If this is fine, can we go ahead with the 27th verse?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Anything to be added? Any views? Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Um,
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, whenever we listen all these things and all, no, Mataji, we keep on doing our sadhanas also, but still it's very difficult to put it into practice, Mataji. So that's what I feel every time, even though we are listening and so doing so many things, still we find very difficult few situations to move forward, Mataji. At that point, how can Mataji, any
Nothing
suggestions,
is
Mataji?
impossible, no, Mataji. That is what is abhyasena. Abhyasena, with practice only it happens. So more and more we should involve in ourselves in seva.
Sure,
The more we participate in every activities. First is association. Put yourself into that group in whichever area you are and participate. Take up seva. Take up so many sevas that you will not have time to think about anything else. That
Okay.
seva helps in your purification. Now one after the other. Now we had Gaur Purnima, right? Then we had Jagannath Mishra festival, right?
Yes,
Then
yes, Mataji.
now will come Ram Navami. Then we will have Narsimha Chaturdashi. So many things are there, Mataji. So one
Sure.
finishes, we should keep our mind. Now next is Ram Navami. What to do? What activities can we have? What programs can we
Okay.
have? What skit can we prepare? How can we train? What activities? What are the various bhajans and ashtagams and stotras is there related to last time I did this, now this time what I will. So like that we should keep on doing. So then we do not have time for our, and at the same time we should balance our but it is up to us, our free will, what is our priority.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we go on to the 27th verse. Tasmin nuhava upasana shila. This is also one bigger verse. Tasmin nuhava upashnasila paramarshya sakala jiva nikhaya avasasya bhagavato vasudevasya bhitanam sharanabhutasya श्रीमच्चरणारविन्द आविरत स्मरण आविगलित परमभक्तियोगानु भावेन परिभावितान्तर हृदय आदिगते भगवती सर्वेषां भूतानाम् आत्मभूते प्रत्यग आत्मनि एवात्मनस्तदात्म्यम् अविशेषेण समीयुः. This is, maybe I will explain, then it becomes very easier. So we said, in the earlier verse, 26th verse, we understood that these three, who were the three sons of Priyavrata who took up celibacy?
Kavi, Mataji,
Kavi,
Mahavira,
yeah,
and Savana.
Savana, right? Savana. So these three, Tasmin nuhava upasana shila. These three, upasana means they took up renunciation order, right? These three, they took up the renunciation order and they became, here it is, Parama Rishaya. They became great saint, right? Because they took it at a very early age. They maintained celibacy, the brahmachari life they followed, and thus they became very saintly, right? Parama Rishi, they became great saints. Then Sakala Jiva Nikhaya Avashasya Bhagavato Vasudevaya. They were concentrating on this Bhagavata Vasudeva, the Lord, unto him sakala jiva nikala. Nikala means the entire totality of this creation. Avasasya, where they are residing at the lotus feet of the Lord. And not only they, and also Bhitanam, those who are scared of this material entanglement, they take the shelter of these Vasudevas here. And these three Parama Rishya, they are concentrating their mind on this Vasudeva, on to whose Srimad Charanaravindam, right? They are on his lotus feet is residing the people. The people are taking shelter at his lotus feet. That is what it is said over here. By constantly thinking of his lotus feet, they became advanced in devotional service. Srimad Charanaravinda Adivrata, constantly smarana, thinking aviglata, without any contamination. They are thinking, that is ahaituki apratihata, uninterrupted. That is Adivrata, continuous, constantly. Ahaituki, without any desires. Aviglata, without any contamination. They were doing devotional service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Parama Bhakti Yogena, thus by the power of devotional service, Bhakti Yoga Bhavena, Paribha Avantantar Hridaya Adigate Bhagavati Sarvesham Bhutanam, thus Atma Bhute, thus concentrating on him constantly, without any contamination, they were able to see the Lord who is in the Hridaya Adigate, who is in the heart of everyone. Who is that? Who is present in the heart of everyone? Paramatma. So they could realize that Paramatma, and then they understood that Tadatmyaham, that qualitatively we are one with him, but yes, quantitatively we are also eternal as that of the Paramatma. This is the understanding of this verse. Now, if somebody wants to try reciting, they can. Or else, if you find it is difficult, we will go to the translation. Anybody
Hare
wants
Krishna
wants-
Mataji. I will try Mataji.
Try Mataji.
Tasmin uha va upasema sila parama arsaya sakala jiva nikaya vasasya bhagavat.
Avasas.
Sorry, Mataji.
No, continue.
Yeah.
Nikhalaya vasasya.
Okay. Jiva nikaya vasasya bhagavato vasudevasya bhitanam saranabhut utasya srimacharanaravindha virata smarana vigalita parama bhakti yoganu bhavena paribhavitantar hridayadhigate bhagavati sarvesham भूतानाम् आत्म भूते प्रत्यग आत्मनि एवात्मनस्तदात्म्यम् अविशेषेण समीयुः. Hare Krishna Mataji. Any mistake? Sorry Mataji.
Mataji, can I try?
No, correct. Very nice.
Thank you,
Mataji, can I
Mataji.
try?
Yeah. Try Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can you just scroll down the Sanskrit one also, both the things?
Okay. Here.
Okay. तस्मिन्नुभाव उपशमाशिलपरमर्षयः सकलजीवनकवायावयसस्य भागवतो वासुदेवस्य भितनां चरणाभूतस्य श्रीमच्चरणारविन्दविरत स्मरणा विकलित परमभक्तियुगनुभवेन भावितन्तं हृदयाद्भुते भगवती सर्वेषां भूतानाम् आत्मा भूते प्रत्ययात् आत्मनि एवात्मनस्ति तादात्म्याम्
अविशेषण साम्ययुः हरे
Very
कृष्ण
good.
माताजी
Thank you, Mataji. That's wonderful. It's difficult. I to get the pronunciation and then the understanding. It's really nice, Mataji. Thank you so much. Haribol. Yeah, somebody the translation.
Shobha Mataji, you can read the
Hare
translation.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji and Prabhuji's translation by His Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thus situated in the renounced order from the beginning of their lives, all three of them completely controlled the activities of their senses and thus became great saints. They concentrated their minds always upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the resting place of the totality of
Totality.
living entities and who is therefore celebrated as Vasudeva. Lord Vasudeva is the only shelter of those who are actually afraid of material existence. By constantly thinking of his lotus feet, these three sons of Maharaja Priyavrata became advanced in pure devotional service. By the prowess of their devotional service, they could directly perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart as the super soul, and realized that there was qualitatively no difference between themselves and him. Haribol. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Dandavats.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yes, somebody the purport.
Hare Krishna. Archana Mataji, please read the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Paramahamsa stage is the topmost position in renounced life. In Sannyasa, the renounced order, there are 4 stages: Kutichaka, Bahutaka, Parivrajaka Acharya, and Paramahamsa. According to the Vedic system, when one accepts a renounced order, he stays outside in his village in a cottage, and his necessities, especially his food, are supplied from home. This is called the Kutichaka stage. When a sannyasi advances further, he no longer accepts anything from home. Instead, he collects his necessities, especially his food, from many places. This system is called Madhukari, which literally means the profession of bumblebees. As bumblebees collect honey from many flowers, a little from each, so sannyasis should beg from door to door but not to accept very much food from any particular house. He should collect a little bit from every house. This is called the Bahutaka stage. When a sannyasi is still more experienced, he travels all over the world to preach the glories of Lord Vasudeva. He is then known as Parivrajaka Acharya. The sannyasi reaches the Paramahamsa stage when he finishes his preaching work and sits down in one place strictly for the sake of advancing in spiritual life. An actual Paramahamsa is one who completely controls his senses and engages in the unalloyed service of the Lord. Therefore, all the three of these sons of Priyavrata, namely Kavi, Mahavira, and Savana, were situated in the Paramahamsa stage from the very beginning. Their senses could not disturb them, for their senses were completely engaged in servicing the Lord. Therefore, the three brothers are described in the verse as Upashama Sheila. Upashama means completely subdued. Because they completely subdued their senses, they are understood to have been great sages and saints. After subduing their senses, the three brothers concentrated their minds upon the lotus feet of Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.19, Vasudeve Sarvam Idi. The lotus feet of Vasudeva are everything. The Lord Vasudeva is the reservoir of all living entities. When this cosmic manifestation is dissolved, all living entities enter the supreme body of the Lord, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, who merges within the body of Mahavishnu. Both of these Vishnu Tattvas are Vasudeva Tattvas, and therefore the great sages Kavi, Mahavira, and Savana concentrated always upon the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva Krishna. In this way, they could understand that the super soul within the heart is the supreme personality of Godhead, and they could recognize their identity with Him. The complete description of this realization is that simply by discharging the unalloyed form of devotion service, one can realize itself completely. The Parama Bhakti Yoga mentioned in this verse means that a living entity, by dint of unalloyed devotional service, has no other interest than the service of the Lord, as described in Bhagavad Gita, Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. By
Okay,
Parama
Mataji.
Bhakti. Hare Krishna. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna, Mataji.
it is just a because we are short of time. So in short, I will just explain so that we do not miss it. Okay. So here they give the description of different kinds of sannyasis, right? It says that there is Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivraja, Jakacharya, and Paramahansa. Right? In Kutichaka, it is said that they renounce their house, but they stay outside, but the family gives them. Right? In Bahudaka, the family stops, they do not take anything from the family and they take madhukari. They go begging and they take that much that is required for their living for that particular day. And then next day again. That is, but Parivraja Chakacharya, in Jaydwani also we say, no? Because these are the sannyasis who has taken up preaching. They travel and they preach. But Paramahamsa, they stop preaching and they absorb themselves in realization of the Supreme Lord. And thus, giving this distinction, Prabhupada wants us to understand in what stage these three sons were in. Right? They took up a sannyasa and they were in the Paramahamsa stage. So Prabhupada further says that they were the ones where in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavam Mam Prapadyante Vasudeva Sarvaitim. Like after many, many births, people come to know that I am everything. So they had come to that position that everything is Krishna and everything emanates from him and he is the source of everything. So, and thus they have surrendered unto him. So that is, and thus the description, a little bit description about the what you call the creation is given, wherein everything during dissolution go into Garbhodakshay Vishnu and which later on emerges into Karnodakshay Vishnu. So he is meditating upon to that Lord who is the source of everything, and thus fixing his mind at the lotus feet on that Supreme Lord, he could realize that he could understand the teaching. You see, even Dhruva Maharaj, right? He started meditating in this first month. He gave up food, water, then he was only on dry leaves, then he could control his air, thus meditating upon, and then he could hear the instructions. He could see the Lord in his heart, right? Similarly, they were so much deeply in devotional service that they could understand the Lord in the heart of, in their heart, the super soul. So this realization is called as the Parama. This is the highest Bhakti Yoga, the highest form of unalloyed devotional service. But for us in this Yuga, it is not possible. For us, it is the Sankirtan. Depend upon the holy names of the Lord. The Lord is present. He has invested all his energy into the holy names. Right? Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. So that is come from the Goloka only. So we have to depend. That is why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord himself has come to give us this Yuga Dharma. So, in which the devotees have no interest other than the serving Lord. So, these are, then Prabhupada gives an example of stating one verse from Brahma Samhita, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochenana. These saints, these great sages is like we put kajal in our eyes, so their eyes, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochenana, their eyes is always anointed with the love for Krishna, always desiring to serve Krishna and please him. Such is their love. To express that, how deep they are in their devotion, he has quoted these verses. So Prabhupada's intent in this verse is to make us understand the highest stage of sannyasa is the Paramahansa stage, and that stage you get it with pure devotion, and with pure devotion you can get self-realization. Practically, we should engage our senses. We are not up to that level, but yes, these are the lessons which we are given to us, that controlling our mind, engaging our senses in the Krishna service will automatically help us to control our material desire. Meditation is perfected through devotion, right? You do your devotional service, Smaranam, Kirtanam, Shravanam, Smaranam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, right? And then various. While doing all that, you can help us to control your mind, your senses, and then you can meditate upon the Supreme Lord. So fear of this existence of getting entanglement goes off when we do a karma by taking the shelter of the Lord. Thus, various examples has been given. So it is our responsibility as a grahastha to engage ourselves in devotional service parallel when we are doing our responsibility as a householder, right? So this is the takeaway point in this. So what is the difference between controlling the mind artificially and engaging them in bhakti? How can
By
we understand
controlling, we
this?
fail, Mataji.
Mind
Yeah.
artificially is like Falgu Vairagya, Mataji. Just
Ah,
just controlling the senses won't
it
work. So
yeah.
anytime it will
So
fall down, like Vishwamitra Muni had for that.
so for us it is not possible controlling the mind, but engaging it into something superior than the other. That will help us, right? That will help us to control our urge. It is said no, in Bhagavad Gita, Vishaya vinivartante niharasya dehinam raso varjam raso api asya param drishtva nivartante. We cannot just control. We have to engage them in something superior. So don't try to control, but engagement. This is what we have to understand. So how does constant remembrance remove the fear of our material existence?
Sorry,
Mataji, what's the
Mataji.
question?
How does the constant remembrance remove the fear of material existence?
Mataji,
Grace of
sorry,
which
still we
That
did
the
not
Lord
get.
is there always. We just depend upon the Lord. So that's how
Ah,
the fear gets removed, Mataji. For example, we can take
nullified.
the
That
present
dependence.
scenario also. What is
Yeah.
happening?
that is
And
grace,
Whatever is
Mataji.
happening, it is the will of the Lord. Lord is there. Let us do our prescribed duty. That doesn't mean that you should not do our prescribed duty. Yes, God has given us the intelligence, our mind, our senses, everything He has given, a guru, right? So follow that and depend on the Lord. That will help us to remove the fear. Okay, so that is all about today's
Mataji, Hare
class.
Krishna.
Eh,
Can I ask you one question, Mataji? This last paragraph, when they say, uh, can always see within the heart the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. Does it mean that you keep feeling? You're feeling the Lord within you? Or how do they say?
See,
Can
this is
always...
described about their Paramahamsa stage, Mataji.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji. That's
just
why I
like
want to
how
understand.
Dhruva Maharaj also could see, at one point he could see the Lord within the heart. And then the second moment he couldn't. Even Narad Muni, right? He could see the
Yes.
Lord within the heart. And then when he opened, it was not there. Then later on, when he tried to focus, he couldn't see the form of the Lord. Then the Lord said, no, even more purification is required for you. And then I will, right? So that way we can understand this.
Yeah, okay, Mataji. Thank you.
It is the advanced stage,
Yeah, yes,
which is
Mataji.
beyond our conception.
Capacity.
So yeah, so we should well, that is why I said that for us our understanding is surrender unto the Lord, do everything in a regulated way, do not try to control, but to engage. We should engage ourselves. Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Very nice class, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you
Very
so much,
good.
Mataji.
Thank
Mataji,
you.
so lastly, you said that in the Paramahamsa stage only this realization will come. So that's very true, Mataji. But how can we realize, Mataji, like, okay, means like if you take, for example, when we are chanting, it's like for me, for myself, I'm saying it's just pushing me to wake up in the morning and pushing myself to sit at that one place and chant. I sometimes think, how am I sitting for this 2 hours in one place? It's really, sometimes
That
it's
is what.
wondering me also.
Yeah, that's what Mataji. When we try to control, it doesn't happen. So sitting, it is not happening. No problem. You stand, you walk. So they say, no, even you walk and you do. But the thing is, yeah, we should keep trying.
Yeah.
Try till you succeed. It is said, right? It is very difficult. I know that, but still, we should not give up. We should keep trying
Yeah.
because we are in this age of Kali Yuga, right? So, but then we should be blessed that we have got that, we got the, at least the Yuga Dharma. We know what is to be done rather than those who do not know also. So understanding that, we take up seriously, and we should see that we never miss our chanting, hold on to our chanting, and thus it will help in our, definitely it will help in our progress in a subtle way, which we will also not know. We gradually,
Hare
we
Krishna.
ourselves can evaluate, right, Mataji, certain things which we were doing before, now we do not have any interest in that. But if we really, when we miss our chanting, we do not finish, we try to finish it, whatever be the seva we are in.
That's what I'm saying, Mataji. So of course we'll have to try understand that. So what happens is, as you said, so a kind of that what do you say? If I don't finish my chanting, then it's a kind of pressurizing myself. Oh God, I didn't finish today. So how to understand that, Mataji? Is it that
Yes,
okay? I
that is
have
a
to. Is it
requirement.
like
There
a
is no,
ritual?
yeah,
It's like a
certain things.
ritual, Mataji.
Initially, it may be a ritual, Mataji. So, this ritual will help in your purification. Once that purification happens, you will start enjoying it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Really, let us
And
take it as a
sometimes
ritual
somewhere,
only,
Mataji,
Mataji.
when we chant, that's Prabhupada says, right, just concentrate on chanting. At
Ah,
least one word, if you chant attentively, then you will get the taste of chanting, right? So
ah.
sometimes, I'm not saying every time, occasionally, when I want to focus, when I desire to focus, yes, that one word of Hare and one word of Krishna, it's really very good, Mataji. So that's my
Ah,
realization.
see,
Sometimes it
yeah,
happens. So not all
yeah.
the
See,
time,
there,
but
yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
yeah.
That is what. Keep practicing it, Mataji. Slowly, slowly, the realization will come.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Wonderful
Hare
Mataji.
class.
One
Krishna.
more takeaway point, Mataji, for me
Ah,
actually. In the one of the purports, it's been written like just by meditating on the Lord's lotus feet, one gets devotional service, pure devotional service. They meditated on the lotus feet of the Lord.
hmm. Acha, that is your
I'm just
realization, you're
sharing.
doing.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
I'm
Yes,
just sharing,
Mataji,
Ah,
as
Mataji. Not
Anita
my
Mataji's.
realization, Mataji. It was already there, so I just
ah,
mentioned it.
okay.
Hare
Just
Krishna. As Anita
Very
Mataji
good.
rightly said, no, we also don't understand how we are waking up and sitting for those 2 hours. My realization has always been that Mataji, whenever I have desired intensively that, oh, I want to chant, I want to read, God, please help me. I was so surprised that it's only our desire which is lacking most times. See, we might
oh,
externally say
Mataji.
that I want to chant, I want to do this, I want to do seva, but there's intense desire. If it comes, no, then he helps. That
Yeah,
much I have seen, Mataji.
Yes,
We only
yeah.
lack in
Mataji.
our
Lord
desire.
fulfills your desire.
Yes, yes. We lack in our desire, is what I
Ah,
feel. At least with
very
Yeah,
good.
me, it was like, yeah, we
very,
just
Very
very,
have to
good.
very, very
desire.
right, Mataji. This many times I have felt only our desire where it works out.
Yes,
So we
yes.
should have the desire to read or to chant or whatever it is in our
Yes,
sadhana.
so
Thank you
many
so much.
times feel that, oh, I want to do this, but it's just a wish. It's not a burning desire within. Whenever that desire comes, oh, I want to do this, Krishna, but it is not happening. I don't know what else. Please help me.
Yeah, that
That is the
desire comes
time
with
we,
association, Mataji. It sees, when we go out and we see something and we desire for it, right? So when we are in an association, when we see somebody advanced, and so we also desire, yeah, even I should do the similar way. So association is also very essential to develop that desire.
yes, yes, Mataji, that is so true. But lot of
Yeah,
times it is just a wish. Earlier I wouldn't understand. I said, oh, but I am desiring, but why he is not helping? But then now I can differentiate between a wish and a desire. Desire is
desire.
that you want it,
In, yeah,
intensive. Yes, yes, Mataji. Hare
correct.
Sangha,
Krishna,
Thank
wonderful
you.
class.
Mataji,
Thank
Sangha is
you.
very important. Then you motivate each other. So
Ah,
Mataji, very
yes, yes.
important.
Yes, yes, definitely, Mataji. Thank you. Very good. Nice.
Thank you so
Thanks
much,
to all for
Mataji.
sharing the realization. It helps me also. It energizes. It is inspiring for me as well when I hear from you all. Thank you so much. So because of shortage of time, I take your leave. It is
Hare
9:30.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo
Srimad
patitanam pavadebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Bhagavatam
Hare
ki jai.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much,
Krishna. Thank
Mataji.
you,
Thank
Mataji.
you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare Bol,
Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Rohini Mataji, you can end the
Hare
class.
Krishna, Pranams. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Bol. Yes, Mataji. We can end the class.
Yes, yes. Rohini Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. I'll end the call,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna.